welcome. You're watching Movers and Shakers with me, Ashkir Rahmat. This week on Movers and Shakers, we are joined with Hugh Coxing, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Eclatbrands. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
Well, Coxing, can you share a bit more about your background and how you got started?
I started my university education as an electrical and electronic engineer. Did my term there, 4 years, did all the exams and everything I needed to do, and realized that things wasn't as interesting as it made out to be. So I shifted industry quite quickly to joining BP for a short period of time at Alternative Energy, doing feedstocking, understanding fuels and things like that, and a lot of analytics. Left them late 2007 to join a agricultural business as an execution trader and also a physical agri-products trader in a sense. And after a few years there, I joined an investment company focusing on investments for clients and so on and so forth. After that, having done some research, I thought manufacturing was actually a very great industry to be in. It's still one of the pillars of an economy. So I thought, why not? Let's just roll into that and see how far we get.
Well, it's interesting that you decided to join manufacturing of garments. Can you share a bit more about why garments, not something else that's more related to agriculture?
Okay, in terms of the garment business actually breaks down to a lot of sectors, and you actually be quite surprised it's actually not any different from, for example, something like oil and gas. I'll give you an example of oil and gas. Is that for an alternative energy project, you need to have a feedstock. You need to have something to process the feedstock, and you need to have an end product. So you have components A, B, and C. In manufacturing, it's exactly the same thing. To make a garment, you need to have cotton. You need to have the ability to weave the cotton, and you need to be able to manufacture the final product. So putting the cotton together, from the weave and so on. And when you actually look at it in that sense, it's not too different from any industry. And it's actually very interesting because there's so many methods and technologies, and as an engineer, you're always very interested in how things work. Maybe not for everyone else, but for me, I love taking things apart and putting it back together and understanding why would you do it this way, or why would you use 2 stitches instead of 3, and that just made it all the more fun. Agriculture is actually a very tough business. I've never assumed that it was easy. For farmers, I find it's very, very difficult. It's especially in Malaysia, we make only a few products, so rice, palm oil, so on and so forth. Whereas every country has something different, and to get the expertise of to know a product is very difficult when you don't have the ability to find out what's arable and how much you can make, what you can get. So rather than limit myself to staying in the agriculture business, I thought, why not have something like, well, actually, it's unilateral across all the countries. Fabric is fabric. What you want is what another person may not want, and it can be made anywhere. So why not see how much information you can pull from everyone?
Well, one thing I want to find out more is, how did you actually decide to actually make your manufacturing business back in Malaysia when most of your career was exposed in the UK?
That was actually during the time in the UK. Looking back, Asia was the place, and very right so. I would agree with that Asia was booming. Developed countries have a certain growth upside in that sense, because there's a lot of capital risk and market risk and so on and so forth. Whereas in Asia, as a young budding area, it's always going to be something that's very hot. And coming back here was good because everything was very fast-paced. The things that are very fast-paced in developed countries are financial sector, stable services, legal houses, investment banks, financial services. In Asia, on top of that, there's manufacturing, there's new developments, there's property guys, hotel guys that are coming up. And Asia as a market was growing so much faster than the Western world. So I thought, why not take the time and spend a little bit of time on this side of the planet and see how it goes.
Well, Coxing, I understand that there's a few brands under Eclatbrands, and I'd like to find out more. Well, we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll find out more of the brands.